Hey guys, welcome to the Superherocuts podcast where we talk about things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. It's your boy Stevie Hayes, joined by Comic Cuts. My brother, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. How you doing?
Always good, man. I'm really happy, man. This is gonna be another, obviously, as usual, a really great episode. Really excited to talk about some Batman, some
cool stuff. Um, there, there's just a lot going on, and I'm really excited to
I think your mic switched over to something that you don't normally
Oh
use.
yeah,
You hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Bet. Yeah, I am super hyped to dig into all this stuff and really just talk about everything because we just got bombarded with so much news. So let's get it. Um,
It's crazy. It's crazy how much stuff we got. And this is going to be a long episode, but it's worth it for us to get through this because we are.
oh,
We're
bro,
going to be cooking.
can you check your mic too? I think both of ours just switched off. Super weird.
Yeah. How's this? Because mine, I actually, when I said it to you, I went and checked mine, and I originally
I hear it now.
was going. Okay, cool.
It's not good. It's not good. All right, bet. All right. So first topic of the night: Asher Angel Nightwing. Okay, so if you don't know, Asher Angel tweeted a GIF of Nightwing, and that has started a lot of rumors and thoughts of him taking the role of Nightwing. So first of all, if you don't know who Asher Angel is, he was actually in Shazam. Obviously Zachary Levi was the Shazam character, but Asher Angel is the guy that played the kid, before he would transform into Shazam. So I think that he is perfect for Nightwing. He's a really good actor. He's also 21 years old, which I think, bro, is honestly a really great age because Dick Grayson, I'm pretty sure he takes the role of Nightwing around the 18 to 19 age. So, he's not too far off from being that age. He's also 5'11. I do think that if someone is playing Nightwing, you do have to be tall. You can't be like Tom Holland's height trying to play Nightwing. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty excited. Excited about that, but Asher did land some of these things in Shazam that fits Dick Grayson's personality because Dick Grayson is happy, he's very talkative, but also has like a edge slash temper to him. But Dick Grayson is more of a positive, happy go lucky kind of a guy, and you have to be able to land those type of beats because Dick Grayson is the opposite of what Batman is. You know what I mean? Like Batman's whole point of taking in Dick Grayson is I took him in so he doesn't become like me. And so I think Asher Angel could really land that kind of character. And we saw, parts of that in Shazam. So how do you feel about Asher Angel?
So I like the kid. I think first of all he looks the part, but that's not how you cast characters. You don't just cast them because they look the part. But I do agree with the optimism, and it's kind of like a polarized take on Batman. It's like the opposite of Batman, and it's interesting because Hungry Almighty's comment, we don't know if they've casted a Batman right now. We have no idea. We have no idea if Asher Angel was cast as Nightwing. Granted, I think if he was cast as Nightwing, I don't know. I was going to say I think if he was cast as Nightwing, he wouldn't post this. But the thing is, like a lot of these posts are intentional. Like this could have been James Gunn's plan with Asher Angel. Like, hey, I want you to post a GIF of Nightwing. Texted, emailed them the GIF. Post this at 3:47 p.m. on a Monday. And Asher Angel's like, bet. Done, and like that could be it. And they could already have the Batman cast, and they wanted to give us the Nightwing cast before the Batman because they're saving the Batman for Comic-Con or whatever the case may be. And I'm not here to speculate on who the Batman is. And I think anyone out there who's speculating on who Batman is cast as, you shouldn't trust them because no one has any idea who Batman is unless they are in James Gunn's camp. And James Gunn is doing his best to keep that information guarded. So listen, we know that Asher Angel is kind of teasing us that he might be Nightwing or he wants to play Nightwing. And that could be all this is, that he's like, hey, I was in a DC movie. Some of you might like me or kind of know who I am. I would like to play Nightwing, and I'm going to shoot my shot. We have no idea. But if that's what he wanted, it worked because everyone's talking about it. And, Asher Angel, I'd be happy to see you as Nightwing.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about this next, so I don't want to dig too deep, but it's funny though, Jerry. You know why? Because it's funny that Asher Angel posts this, and then we find out today that there's a Supergirl movie that's coming out in 2026. Could it be that Asher Angel's Nightwing, or if Nightwing is being cast? What if Nightwing might be being cast before Batman? Is because we might see Nightwing try to recruit Kara to the Teen Titans. You never know. You never know. So there's a lot of questions. And James Gunn, you guys gotta understand, this man is very calculated, and he's been very calculated with the DCU. And to be honest, it's been fun for Jerry and I to follow and cover this because he's so calculated. Like honestly, this has probably been the most fun covering that we've ever done, because he's been just putting out all of these, different signs and stuff. So and look, another thing, James Gunn comments on everything. He said nothing about this. So it just, it makes you think like, hey, like what's really happening behind the scenes, and knowing how secretive James Gunn is, like, if he didn't want Asher to post this, you know what I mean? It would have been like,
we, once the first couple of DCU movies come out, we're going to have a better idea on how James Gunn reveals these things. It's too early to tell because we haven't seen a DCU project. I will say I appreciate all your comments, Hungry Almighty, because the other day I was hungry and I swear to God, I said in my head, I'm Hungry Almighty.
That's hilarious.
I know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
See, bro, this stuff sticks in your brain, bro. It really does. Bro.
Yeah. I was like, man, I'm so hungry, Almighty. I was like, God damn it.
He's stuck in my mind. Pause.
Yeah, big pause.
Man. You're hilarious. But yeah, but there's something going on, but we won't know until more news is revealed. I think if we respond to this next one, I hope James Gunn and WB are going to be at Comic-Con this year, because if I remember correctly, Zaslav said that we will learn more about the DCU slate this year. Yeah, bro, I do expect a Superman teaser trailer to be shown at Comic-Con, and I do expect us to see like them in full costume. So I do expect to see that. Do you expect that also at Comic-Con?
I don't know. The thing is, for me, with the costumes is I don't think that all of them are going to be practical. I think that the first couple of ones, I think there's going to be a practical Batman suit. I think there's going to be obviously there's a practical Superman suit. We've seen it, but it depends on what they want to show, because, there's going to be a point where Green Lantern is going to be shown. And I don't know, like Green Lantern, I think might be the only character that or he's the first one that I think of that I don't think he's going to have a practical suit. I think Green Lantern is going to be a CGI suit.
No, bro. I'm saying, like, are you expecting to see a Superman teaser at the least?
I thought you meant if the actors were going to come out in their suits.
No. I'm just saying, are you expecting to see like a Superman teaser at Comic-Con?
No, I think it's way too
really.
Bro, they just started shooting. They just started, and Comic-Con is in what, 2 months?
They said the same about Batman, and we still got a costume, like a teaser,
a trailer. You mean? Yeah, I think we got really lucky with that one. And I
Yeah.
think that times are different.
Matt Reeves is an animal, though. Matt Reeves is a different breed.
And there's just so much riding on the DCU that here's the thing. I don't think that they are. I don't think they're sitting down and being like, okay, we got to get this trailer out for Comic-Con, and that's the priority right now. I think that this is much bigger than a Comic-Con teaser, and I think they know that. And because they know that, I don't think that they are going to prioritize something like a Comic-Con bringing a teaser to Comic-Con. As much as I would like to see it, I also don't think it's the right move. I don't think that they should add the extra pressure of meeting Comic-Con with a trailer. There are much bigger things to worry about with this movie.
Yeah, so I disagree. I think that they already have footage prepared and ready to go. And Comic-Con, to me, I think that's the largest stage where you want to showcase certain things. And with Warner Bros. Not having their DC fandom, I really think James Gunn is going to haul behind at a Comic-Con. I think we're getting a full slate. I'm not saying that we're going to get castings. And to be honest, James Gunn pretty much gave us the full slate already of the first couple of films that we're going to see. So I expect to see something. You know, me personally, I expect to see a trailer, and I also expect to see more costume suit movement. Even if that teaser is 20 seconds long, which I doubt it. I think we're going to get like a full 60-second teaser or something like that. I really do expect that.
I think it would be cool if they got up there, showed like a 10, 20-second clip of David Cornsweet flying in the suit, and you kind of like just see the sky or Metropolis skyline and keep it at that. Listen, I would love to see a trailer as much as everyone else. I think there are bigger things to worry about right now.
Do you know what I've been thinking about with Zack Snyder's Superman?
What?
So I think that with Zack Snyder's Superman, and please, I hope that you can feel me. Pause. I hope you can hear what I'm like trying to say. Like, I feel like Zack Snyder made Superman a god in his films. Like the way that the scenes were done, it came off as like godly type stuff. And I feel like James Gunn, and I feel like the first flight scene that we see in James Gunn versus what Zack Snyder's first flight scene is with a Superman, I think that James Gunn is going more of the traditional view of Superman. I really think that Zack Snyder had more of a godly view, if that makes sense.
Yes and no, because first of all, one of the things that Zack Snyder absolutely crushed it with was the movement of Superman, the action, the flying.
Yeah, the flying was perfect. Oh my God.
Especially the first flight, Hans Zimmer, like that goes so hard. And I love James Gunn, but I don't know if we're ever going to see Superman look cooler than he did at that moment. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, I also don't think Batman is ever going to look as cool as he did in The Dark Knight with the Hans Zimmer track going on in the background. And that's okay too. But here's the thing. I think that this Superman is going to have, because, Superman, as much as he had that godly ism to him, he also had that like human thing to him where he had to make decisions like everyone else. And, he struggled with how people saw him. And I think that Zack Snyder balanced that in a way. And I think he doesn't get enough credit for that, to be fair.
Yeah.
I really don't, because there were moments of both. There were moments where it was like, Superman is a god and he's different, but there were also moments like that were relatable, and there were both. So that's number one. I think James Gunn's going to be much more on the relatable side and not the god side. And I don't know how that it's going to be that balance. And I'm not saying Zack Snyder. If you watch the show, you know I have my criticisms of Zack Snyder's Superman, but
Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna
loves
give,
BVS. But by the way, guys, like, don't think he's a hater. Like, he loves BVS,
It's
and
funny,
I like Man of Steel. So
yeah. So, you know, if you follow me on X, the other thing is I can't stand the fans. I really cannot stand Zack Snyder's fans. So that's also one of the reasons it might be a little more rare to hear me give Zack Snyder credit, because I hate satisfying those people. I can't stand them. I don't want to give them anything. Oh, and also I unfollowed someone on social media because you posted your whack politics. Like, I am on X and Instagram. I am here for comic book movie stuff. Okay. I follow my politics too, but like, if you are going to be condescending about your politics, especially if I disagree with your politics, I want none of that. And I don't care if we talk. If we talk and you post your stupid politics and I think your take is off, like, no. If you notice on the show, we only talk politics if it has something to do with the movies. It's just crazy how everyone is like, I just feel like so many people are so annoying on social media with, Zack Snyder and or politics.
1000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanna reword. I don't want to say godly. I like, when I look at Henry Cavill, he's like a majestic horse. You know what I'm saying? Like Zack Snyder made him more of a majestic goal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just the way that the camera was, the way that the music played, the way that he flew, the way that it was so perfectly slow-mo made. Like, it was very, and I'm not saying it's bad because I love that. And you know I love that costume. I love that Zack Snyder Superman costume. And I just think that James Gunn is going to be more like, I don't want to say rough around the edges. It's just not going to be like that meticulous.
Picture perfect.
Yes.
Because Superman's not perfect. And I think that Zack Snyder's visuals, especially like when my favorite was when Superman was flying and he was positioned as if he was standing up in midair, like his body was, vertical. His body was standing vertically in the air, and he would move. And not that we've never seen this before, because we've seen this in the Donner Christopher Reeve Superman, where Superman's standing and he is vertical and he moves and he flies this way and not like this. But when Zack Snyder did it, he did it with speed and force, and it looked so sick. Whereas when you saw Christopher Reeves, it was like this.
Yeah.
But Zack Snyder was like, and it was so cool.
Oh yeah. So yeah, man, there's a lot of things to. It's gonna be very different, and I'm excited to see that. So, all right. I mean, the waiting is killing me, and I don't want to rush it, but DC been waiting for a long time for someone in charge who cares. Like James Gunn been waiting since the first Iron Man and first Match. I agree. James Gunn cares, which we're really hyped for it. And the excitement is killing me. Yup. I want Lantern update and Waller update more than anything. Whoa, man, we're waiting for a Green Lantern, brother. We're waiting. Yeah. Oh, well, I just heard what you said about me, but I'm in the trades of my Cosmo delay. Since we're on the topic of Batman, for Reeves Batman, if we get a trilogy, would you like the trilogy to end? Do you want Batman still being Batman protecting Gotham, or an actual conclusion? What I want is Robert Pattinson to be the DCU Batman. And to be honest, my personal opinion, I still think those talks are still going on. And that's why I think we haven't gotten casted a Batman yet. That's just my opinion.
So the only reason I don't want Pattinson to be the DCU Batman is because the second that happens, we lose the Reevesverse. And I want to get both. I want a DCU Batman and I want a Reeves Batman. And the other thing that it's not just the advantage of having the Reeves, the Batman universe, and the DCU Batman isn't just twice the Batman, right? Because you got to think about this. If the Batman didn't exist, the DCU Batman is going to have to serve two purposes. It's going to have to serve the purpose of having a Gotham Batman and also having a larger than life
The world.
Justice
Yeah, I
League
understand.
outer world threat. Whereas if we get the Batman universe, that could be the Gotham Batman, and then we could have Batman who is dealing with off-world threats. And yeah, there could still be some Gotham in it. I'm not saying, but everyone's complaining about MCU Spider-Man that like we don't have a grounded Spider-Man movie in the MCU, and now we're talking about Pattinson doing the DCU Batman, and the second he does the DCU Batman, we're gonna have the same problem. So I think there is a huge advantage to having an Elseworld Batman universe like we already have, and a shared universe DCU Batman. And I've also said on the show that I hope they do the same thing with Spider-Man. I think they should do the same thing with Spider-Man.
So I disagree. I mean, I still think Pattinson should be in the DCU. I don't really give a darn about this whole grounded BS. I mean, kiss my behind, dude. Honestly, that's me personally. I've never cared. We need grounded. Shut up with all these fans talk about we need grounded content. Shut up. We got all these years of freaking grounded content. Okay, I think Robert Pattinson should go to the DCU. I think he should be the Batman of the DCU, and I think it would be perfect. And I think that Matt Reeves could direct a fantastical Batman movie. It's probably not going to happen, but that's the way I want it. But that's because I think Pattinson is the greatest Batman of all time.
The reason why I don't think it's going to happen is because Reeves signed on to do what he's doing. He obviously wants to do what he's doing. I'm pretty sure that he even it was made public that he said he has no interest in working on the DCU with Batman. And if Reeves doesn't want to do it and Pattinson did, it would be a really bad look for Pattinson.
I'm pretty sure Pattinson did say he wanted to, I think, or that he was open to it.
Yeah, but if Pattinson were to ditch Reeves to do the DCU, it would be a really bad look for him.
100%. Oh, yeah, Pattinson wouldn't do something.
For those wondering why would that be a bad look, you would look disloyal. Usually in these superhero movies, if you haven't noticed, the number one star who plays the hero usually forms a really close relationship with the director, and they stay loyal to each other. For example, both Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale have pretty much said we're only doing it if we're both coming back.
Yeah, so. Even Affleck still defends Zach to this day. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Batman Arkham Knight. Oh, Batman Arkham Knight. Duh.
That's crazy.
Like bro. What?
The Nolan trilogy, bro. Arkham Knight.
Yeah,
bro, the Arkham Knight, like another Jason Todd villain.
The Arkham Knight game is 10 times better than any Nolan movie. What are we talking about here?
No, that is so crazy, bro.
Oh my god, you're killing me, brother.
Nah. The Dark Knight is like
man, I disagree.
The best Batman movie of all time.
Okay. Now we're talking crazy today. All right. I'd rather see the first teaser be up in the sky type of thing. Yeah, that'll be dope. I dislike BVS, but Man of Steel is passable. I agree. I hate BVS too. The fact we got Supergirl film release rate already means probably more will come. 100%. I think Reeves Universe should be canceled, but because average moviegoers, I don't think average moviegoers would be confused because James Gunn has been pretty clear about it, and fans aren't dumb. You know what I mean? Fans aren't stupid.
Yeah, I don't think average. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't think average moviegoers are paying attention to everything James Gunn says. I think more are than did in the past. But like everyone is always talking about these movies like, oh, how are average movie fans going to understand that there are different Batman and they are in different movies? Like, it's really not complicated. It's like when there's a new James Bond that comes around to play James Bond. It's like, it's obviously a different actor playing James Bond.
Exactly. Like, also, there are a lot of MCU fans that didn't watch any of the previous 9 years and came during Black Panther. They saw no movie before, but they watched Black Panther, every movie from Black Panther to Endgame, and that's all they knew, and they still knew all of the other characters. So
That's crazy.
if that's the case, we'll be totally fine. Just saying, like, because the MCU didn't get universal until that. Well, it was already universal, but it didn't get big until that 2018, 2019 run. So, yeah. All right. I can see Pattinson being DC Batman, but if that's the case, the Reeves universe need to be going. I 100% agree. Or Matt Reeves could just adapt it into the DCU, make the Penguin more fantastical. I'm really not a big like. I understand that the Penguin show is going to be dope, but I do think that this is a waste of lore. I think Colin Farrell is good and all that, but this isn't a comic book accurate Penguin show. Is probably going to be good, but I just don't see a point in doing this if this is pretty much going to end after a trilogy. I know people are hyped for it though. I get mad heated every time my friends think we need grounded, realistic, and Robin wouldn't work. Yeah, people are so stupid, bro. Arkham Knight, exactly. Arkham Knight, bro. Nolan's trilogy doesn't even touch the Arkham games at all. I mean, now like Arkham Batman is the most Batman that we've ever seen of all time. Like, let's be honest about that. That's fair. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna go to the second topic here. 1 second. Now we're gonna go to the second topic here, which is.
Oh, hold up. There was way too much slander that just happened.
What you mean?
Number one, the Penguin is one of my favorite Batman villains. The Penguin's great. And he makes so many stories so interesting. You know, he plays a great role in the Batman mythos. Like, you need a major villain from the underworld criminal society, the criminal underworld of Gotham. So, like, the Penguin has a big purpose, and the Penguin show is going to kill it, and it's going to win over a lot of fans because there are people like my father who hate superheroes. My dad's like, superheroes are cheesy. I'll never like them. But I showed him the Penguin trailer, and I didn't tell him it was a Batman thing, and he was like, "That shit looks." I keep cursing. That looks sick. You know, and my dad loves mafia movies like Scorsese, all that. He's like a diehard fan, you know. So I think that the Penguin is going to serve a big purpose, and I think it might win a lot more people over to the genre than people realize. So there is a strategic play to the Penguin, and there's a strategic play to the Penguin as a character in the Gotham mythos. So that's number one. And number two, the Dark Knight is obviously superior to Arkham Knight.
Disagree. I really strongly disagree, but we're not going to go down this road right now. Maybe we'll do a Batman debate episode sometime later on in the future, but not right now.
Too big of a docket to get into this one.
Yeah. Okay, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, releasing June 26, 2026, or is it June or July? Why does my thing say July? Hold on, because now I'm getting confused. Guys, this is what happens when you type in your half asleep. You freaking type the wrong dates. But I want to make sure that I have the right dates. All right, June 26th. So, yes, June 26th, 2026. So, Supergirl will be the second DCU live-action movie coming to theaters following Superman. Millie Alcock will star as Supergirl. This will be directed by Craig Gillespie. I read the article. All that was really told is that they are adapting the Tom King Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic book. Now, I love Craig Gillespie as a director. So he directed a really good movie that I favor a lot, which is called Cruella. Okay, now if you know who she is, if you saw the movie 101 Dalmatians, she was the bad guy in that. He actually did a origin movie on her, and the movie was actually very successful. And also, the movie was successful.
It actually did look good now that I'm looking at it. I remember the trailer.
Cruella, yeah, it's dope, bro. It's a really good movie. And, bro, on top of that, bro, the movie was successful during the pandemic. And this was one of the very few movies that got a lot of traction and that fans love. And I think that, and this why, and look, I'm not here to glaze James Gunn. Actually, I am here to glaze James Gunn. I think that James Gunn, this is a power move by James Gunn because one of Craig's things, when it comes to female characters, this is the guy that you want to have because Cruella is not like an A-list character. You know what I mean? Craig this movie, that Cruella movie, made her an A-list character, and now they're working on filming a segment. By the way, Emma Stone killed that role. Let's get her in the DCU. Anyways, but yeah, I really think that Craig knows how to work female characters, and Craig, and what he did in Cruella is, Cruella wasn't powerful because she was a female. She was powerful because of the things that she was able to do. And I think that if Craig takes that same mindset and puts that into the Supergirl film with, obviously adapting the Tom King story, I think that this film can be very successful. And I think that James Gunn made the correct first step, which is hiring a director that has already landed a female character that hasn't been in a live action theater in a really long time. So I think that like this is an awesome hiring.
Didn't they say Tom King is in the writer's room for something big today?
He is. He is in the writer's
Green
room.
Lantern. I really hope he's doing Green Lantern.
I know he's in the writer's room for Supergirl. I'm not sure if I didn't hear anything today on Green Lantern at all.
Yeah, he's a great writer. Listen, I'm not going to read Supergirl just because, like, here's the thing. I read a lot of comics, but sometimes I'm just not that interested in the character. Like, I'll watch the Supergirl movie, but I'm not going to read a Supergirl character. And when it comes to watching movies, like Supergirl is cool and all, but I hope they do a movie with a male superhero that's like super male empowering. Doesn't that sound funny?
Yeah. What the hell are you talking about?
I just thought it would sound funny because no.
Oh, you're just trying to troll? You're trolling.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
A male empowering video. Come on.
So what the hell is wrong with this dude, bro? What is he talking about? Oh my god. But yeah, I'm really hyped. But this is a couple steps into the right direction. You got Millie Alcock, who's a great actress, love her. Then you also have Tom King in the writing room, another freaking W. And then you have a guy that's known for making female characters pop. I mean, keep it on going, James Gunn. And I also am shocked that Supergirl is the second movie that James Gunn is going with to be a release. I get it in the view of like, Supergirl's coming second. That's his cousin. She's probably going to feature in the movie. I get it. And he's really connecting super hard here. But I also hold on 1 second. And we also talked about this on the last topic as well. There's definitely going to be other characters that are in this film. And I wonder, there's an animated film where Supergirl's origin was with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and Darkseid also played a role in that as well. I wonder if they're going to adapt something like that to where what's his name? To where David Cornswell, Superman, and maybe other DC characters will also play co-leads in that role. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
I think that like Supergirl, listen, if I had my choice, this is not the second movie that would be coming out. Absolutely not. But I do see the vision. I think that they're going to do Superman. It's going to be super hyped. Everyone's going to be talking about it. Then there's going to be Supergirl. And we all know that, women-centered movies with like the right flair and creatives behind it can do very well. Barbie obviously was a huge box office success. And I mean, just look at the title, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I feel like that goes in line with a lot of the feminist slogans. And I just think that this movie is going to be a big success. And it's going to sell to a lot of people that don't necessarily watch all the superhero movies or, don't read comics, but there are going to be probably women who just want to go to the movies and have a good time. And they'll be like, oh, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And they'll see a cool trailer and they'll be like, what? I'll go see that movie. And there are women who every now and then, buy a ticket to a superhero
Wonder Woman, bro. Remember that Wonder Woman? And
yeah.
that's what I think he's trying to do with Millie Alcock. He's trying to get that kind of flair because Wonder Woman, by the way, great movie.
Captain Marvel too.
Yep. Captain Marvel. Really. Yeah. And those movies destroyed at box office. Amazing.
There's a big difference between making a Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow movie versus putting someone like America Chavez to be the star in a Doctor Strange movie. Okay,
or
very different thing.
or doing a Superman movie, Jerry, and then making Supergirl the actual lead. So respect to James Gunn for just being straight up of like, yo, this is about her. That's it. I respect that. I respect that a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So
and guess what?
We're
gonna see it.
What's up?
We're gonna see that movie.
Oh, bro, I'm in there like swimwear. Oh yeah, I'm excited. Can't wait. All right. Now we're gonna talk some Daredevil. Okay, so this news came pretty like maybe like an hour before we even got on the show. And just so you guys know, right? So Jerry and I, we already have these topics already like put in our docket, and like basically like throughout the week we add a bunch of topics to this docket. So when we're adding stuff at the last second, like it's pretty big news. So I want to read the description of Daredevil Born Again. All right, or this is what hold on one second. So there was a teaser shown at this basically Disney event that they had, and this is what it showed. It showed Charlie Cox's Murdoch donning the iconic Daredevil suit while narrating that the entire system is against you. Is often David versus Goliath. At the end of the trailer, following a brief action sequence, Murdoch is asked, "What kind of lawyer are you?" "A really good one," he quips as he puts on a broken pair of his glasses. So they're really, I'm happy that they're finally showing footage from the Daredevil Born Again. I know you were simping over that logo, bro. That logo is fire.
Fire. It's so New York. Daredevil is one of the most iconic characters, and if it weren't for Daredevil having more mature adult vibes, Daredevil would be up there in popularity with like Spider-Man. He almost is, and
he's very popular.
Has a huge disadvantage with his popularity because he takes on a lot more adult themes. But I was telling Stevie, like, sometimes I'm looking for a Spider-Man comic to read and I can't find one, and I go to Daredevil and I'm always satisfied. Daredevil's just that guy, and he gets the New York vibes. He deals with the criminal underworld. He has awesome villains. And aside from that, Charlie Cox is one of the best castings in the game, along with a lot of the castings in the Daredevil Netflix show. It's crazy because I feel like the comic book movie show genre has been historically so difficult to get right, and Netflix came out of nowhere and absolutely hit home run after home run. And there was a time the show was canceled, and now it's coming back, and we are lucky.
Yeah, and like we got to live through some of the fruits of those shows. Like we had Arrow. Like the first couple seasons were peak. I mean, God, they're a peak. We had Flash and even Supergirl for the first couple seasons were peak, and then we got Daredevil and Luke Cage. Even though I hate Luke Cage, but I love Daredevil. And the Daredevil show is a catalyst to what we're like. I really think Daredevil is probably the biggest reason why Feige was like, we need to go all in on the whole streaming. So
Luke Cage, I don't like from the Netflix show, but sometimes in the comics he's a pretty cool character.
Yeah, I like the other guy. What's his name? Power or something? Power Man or something like that. Power Man. I forget his name.
Iron Fist.
No. He's basically another Luke Cage. I think his name's like Power Man or something. I gotta search it up, but he's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I'll find it a little bit.
Yeah, listen, I get why they chose Iron Fist and Luke Cage, but I think that they would have been better off not doing those shows. I actually liked Iron Fist season 1, but more people I feel like didn't like it than not, and I think that's where things started to go wrong for them. Also Iron Fist season 1 was like a copy and paste from Arrow season 1, and Arrow season 1 was so much better, and it was from the CW, which makes it even crazier.
Dude, Arrow season 1 that might be the greatest first season. I go between that and Daredevil season 1. I don't know which one is the greatest first season of all time because
Yeah,
I might have to just keep them at a freaking stalemate because Arrow
bro.
was different, brother.
Especially like,
Mm.
bro, and Deathstroke was so sick.
Bro.
Which, by the way, and I feel like I've said it before on this show, but I think Deathstroke is one of the most underrated choices for a Batman villain in either the Batman Part 2 or the DCU. Because number one, the one big flaw of the Batman was that it didn't have enough action, and the action that it had wasn't as intense as it should have been or intricate. And once you put Deathstroke as the villain, you're forced to level up the action. And I think that Deathstroke would be a good villain for the DCU because if they don't use him for the Batman Part 2, he's a good Bat Family villain. There's a lot of stories of the Bat Family and Deathstroke. And yeah.
Matt Reeves has to land the action and gadgets. That's what I need to see more of. Better Batmobile, better Batcave. Move to the manor, switch it up a little bit.
I will say the one thing I think they intentionally didn't choose a lot of gadgets.
100%.
And I'm not against them not using a lot of gadgets. You have to remember someone like James Bond, who was always known for the gadgets, a big part of the Daniel Craig era was not using a lot of gadgets. And
until Skyfall.
Skyfall didn't even have that many crazy gadgets. There were some, but it wasn't like, it wasn't
like Spy Kids. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And I think Batman, like, part of that was, him using a muscle car instead of like a tactical Batmobile, like the Tom Miller,
Yeah. I think that Matt Reeves is going the Iron Man route, where it's like, because like every mistake that Iron Man made in the previous film, it was covered up. Like he fixed it in the next movie. That's what I feel like Matt Reeves is doing. I feel like he's taking that approach, which I think is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think that it was an error. I think it was an oversight. I think they were focused on so many other things that they kind of didn't really get the action.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Right. So yeah, Daredevil, we're pretty excited. Now, I feel like every topic we always end up talking about Batman. Dude, we are so obsessed with Batman, and that's totally fine. Yeah. Okay, so Agatha all along. So after the 20,000 title changes, oh my gosh, we finally have a title. Okay, so there was a clip. It said this is opened with Agatha Harkness, not as the witch we saw in WandaVision, but as a detective struggling with a murder case. As she glances at the list of dates next to October 13th, a familiar name appears, W. Maximoff. Aubrey Plaza's character appears and asks Agatha, is this really how you see yourself? The witch is gone, leaving you in a distorted spell. Claw your way out. Agatha then snaps out of it and says, she took every bit of power I had. I can be that witch again. What follows are a number of eerie, witchy sequences as Agatha vows to walk the witch's road and build her coven. Paul Lupone's character, who is playing Wiccan, I'm pretty sure, he appears and says, what witch in her right mind would join the Agatha Harkness coven? Agatha gasps and responds, I'm not looking for right-minded witches. So that was the clip for Agatha all along, and they were at Disney Upfront today. Now, I want to talk about something that is very, very funny, because I was very shocked that Paul Lupone was so focused on in these interviews. Okay, and obviously, if you don't know, Paul Lupone is playing Wiccan, who's just an older version of Wanda Maximoff's son. So obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of the Agatha show. I'm not the biggest fan of side character projects in general. That's just not me personally. And I'm obviously going to watch it because I am a Wiccan fan. Jerry forced me darn near to read the Young Avengers, and now I'm obsessed with freaking Wiccan and Speed. So I'm kind of excited to see it because I want to see where it takes Wiccan. I necessarily don't care about Agatha unless if it has something to do with Wanda Maximoff. And in my opinion, that's the only way that you can do this show for it to make sense. If this is just about her building a coven, I don't want to watch this. So, but I mean, I think Catherine Hahn is a great actress. I just don't think that she should have had her own project. And I hope that, and with it being delayed and all of this stuff, I hope that they make changes to make it more relevant with Wanda's story. So,
you know what I think? I think that when they signed Catherine Hahn on to do WandaVision, that part of the contract was that she was going to get her own show, and they have to do it. Because there's no other reason to make this show. I mean, literally nobody cares about Agatha. Like, I'm going to watch it because it's Marvel. Like, that's literally it. Also, we could have literally played a bingo game with the amount of titles that they've had for this show.
Yeah, it's actually annoying because this show isn't that important to be pulling out all these titles, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna watch it. Hopefully it's good. And that's what I'm gonna say. Jerry and I really liked Echo. We obviously don't care. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Echo is in the top 3 most watched, Disney Plus shows. So obviously other people liked it too. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, now we also got told, and we don't really have much on this, but Ironheart is also releasing in 2025. I think this is another thing, Jerry, that this is just in the contract. They have no choice, and the show's been done for years now. I know there's some pretty cool people in it. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I imagine that Rhodey is also going to play a really big role in this show. So
it would be a waste and a crime for this show to not have Rhodey. I will say I'm more excited for this than I am Agatha. I just like the idea of innovation and invention. So I hope that, and I think that this will lean into that. And who knows? Maybe people like Ironheart. I actually did like Ironheart the first time around watching Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but when I went to watch it again, I couldn't stand her, probably just because I was so aggravated that that movie should have been a banger and it didn't have T'Challa and it wasn't. We don't need to get into that. We get into that every episode.
Exactly. I mean, and and I think that if you really focus the show on the suits and the tech, it'll be fine. You know what I mean? And it isn't. The girl that plays on her, she's not a bad actress. She's not, it's not like she sucks. So, bring in Rhodey. I'll even have Pepper Potts pop up if that's possible, or someone like Happy Hogan, could pop up and build relationships. Maybe she's working at Stark Industries now. Just get her acclimated and connected to something. Obviously, probably going to connect to Armor Wars. So we'll see what happens.
I don't think it'll be Pepper. Pepper, I think she said there's no reason for me. Gwyneth Paltrow, I'm pretty said there's no reason for me to come back. But is what it is.
Her meeting Morgan Stark would also be fire, but probably a reach. That's who should have been Ironheart. Anyways, we're not going to go down that road. Okay, so Captain America returning the Infinity Stone. So there's a rumor going around that Captain America Steve Rogers is doing a show where he returns all of the Infinity Stones to where they are supposed to be. Now, number one, just so you guys know, this rumor was actually going around right after Avengers Endgame, and this was rumored to be the first Disney Plus show, and then they obviously went the other way, and I think WandaVision was the first Disney Plus show. Now, number one, I do not think that this is in development, but I could see this possibly happening. Okay, oh my gosh, there has been many rumors that Chris Evans, has signed back to, or he has re-signed with Marvel. And that, he has other projects to do in the future, obviously, with Secret Wars and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be shocked if this show was to happen, maybe before right before Secret Wars, we get a limited series of him bringing back Infinity Stones and then he meets Kang, right? And I also would love that because if you could get Chris Evans already seeing Kang before everything happens, I think that puts a lot of things into perspective. But Jerry, with all that being said, bro, The question is, how would that fit into the multiverse saga and everything that we are going to see? Because I think that fans are going to really be sold on Sam. I think fans are really going to be sold on Spider-Man. I think fans are really going to be sold on the Avengers roster that we have right now. Not meaning that if Chris Evans did a show, it wouldn't be popular. But I do think that it's like
It's not the right time.
Yeah, it's like if Marvel Studios is putting all of their eggs into the Anthony Mackie basket, why would you go out of your way to make a Steve Rogers show? And right now, it's just not the right time.
And this is what I always say, like, you need to have strategy. And when you are looking, you already made Sam Wilson the new Captain America, you need to keep the spotlight on him, and you can't have him share that stage. Even if Steve Rogers' Captain America is in another universe and it doesn't really have any impact or implications for the universe, the main MCU 616 or 1999 universe, whatever it is, you're gonna piss fans off both ways. Fans of Sam Wilson are going to be like, well, why are you doing that? Fans of Steve Rogers are going to be like, well, we want Steve Rogers back, not Sam Wilson. And I'm not saying all fans are going to say that, but you could get that. You know where that leads to. No one in their right mind or who's reasonable wants anything like that. I will say, and I know what I said about the politics earlier, but they do need to have Steve Rogers have at least one more appearance, because he kind of went out of the MCU looking exactly like Joe Biden, and that's not a good look. But you know,
he looked old. He was old, dude.
Yeah. I mean, a good-looking version of old Joe Biden. You know, we all know what he looks like now. But anyway, you know,
now it's Harrison Ford. I'm kidding. I'm gonna say he looked like Harrison Ford. I'm not gonna say Joe Biden. All right, he looked like Harrison Ford.
Okay. It's funny because I always thought that. The second I saw that scene in that movie, I thought that. And this past weekend, my brother-in-law said it to me, and I was like, now I realize like other people thought that too. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah, you can't share the bandwidth. Also, there has been a fan-made poster of Captain America. They call it The Last Mission, and it's like a purple poster. You can see the Captain America helmet, and it's floating, and the 6 Infinity Stones are kind of encircling the helmet. And this has been floating around the internet for like literally since Endgame came out. So I would take the Captain America returning Infinity Stones rumor with a grain of salt. I don't think the rumor's been going on for a really long time, and obviously they haven't done anything with it. But more importantly, I don't think Kevin Feige is an idiot. And I think he understands that if you want to make Sam Wilson established as Captain America, doing anything with Steve Rogers right now would tamper with that.
1,000%, bro. 1,000%. It's right now. It's just not the time. It's guys. A lot of people got to understand. It's all about timing, you know. And right now, like, and I'm loving everything about Captain America: Brave New World at the moment. So right. I don't even want it to be touched.
And we're not saying that we wouldn't like to see that at some point. It's just not the right time.
Yeah, like RDJ coming back, bring him on, you know, because there's not no one that's really going to take a spot. Like there's Ironheart, there's Rhodey, but there's not like a definite person that's taking the role of Iron Man, you know. So if RDJ was to come back, like I would love that. But if we're talking about Steve Rogers, it's just not the time, dude. So. I'm pretty sold on Sam at the moment, and I actually was rewatching Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I've been meaning to do that,
and man, what a good show! What a freaking good show!
It's a bummer that Carly, you know, and the monologue at the end, but the show had some great action. U.S. Agent Wyatt Russell was incredible.
Agreed.
You know.
Battlestar 2 was awesome.
Yeah,
we're really great show. Okay, now I want to talk about the Fantastic Four for a second, okay? Because there has been some new castings that has come out
you kind of
in regards to the Fantastic Four. Sorry. So there's been some new castings in regards to the Fantastic Four, and so I wanna hold on. My internet acting up. 1 second. Okay, you hear me?
Mhm.
All right, perfect. So I want to read off of the cast we have so far. So as of right now, we have Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Julia Garner as Shala Bao, Eben Moss Backrack as The Thing, Ralph Anisin as Galactus, and we actually found out last week that John Malkovich and Paul Walter are casted in the Fantastic Four movie, but they are in secret roles. Okay, now I love this cast. Go ahead.
Paul Walter Hauser. I love him. We got to get his name right.
Wait.
It's Paul Walter Hauser.
Oh, I missed that Hauser. Sorry, Paul Walter Hauser. Now, with these two additions, I'm getting really hyped because I love John Malkovich. He's hilarious. But so I do love this cast, except for obviously the whole Shia LaBeouf thing. To me personally, that does not make sense to me at all. But even though I'm not the biggest fan of it, for me, like this isn't a deciding factor for if I think this movie is going to be successful or not. I really do think that this movie is going to be groundbreaking, and I believe that they are building something really special. You know, as you guys know, Matt Shackman, you know, he's made my favorite Disney Plus show of all time. So I do have a lot of faith in him. I do want to say this though. The cast that is really building to be awesome, but I am expecting to see something at Comic-Con. Okay. Like, it's been too long, you know, like we have the cast, you guys are filming. We need a costume reveal, an actual live action costume reveal of what the Fantastic Four is going to be. Now, the question that I have for you is because it is really looking like, because so on Mother's Day, they posted a picture of Sue Storm saying Happy Mother's Day, which I thought was very interesting. So do you think that is Marvel telling us that we are going to see the kids?
You know, I can't imagine they would say that without having kids. You know, like it's just why celebrate her as a mother if we're not seeing her as a mother in this iteration? You know,
yeah. How do you feel about the cast so far?
Love it. Love the cast. I am not happy about Shia LaBeouf. I think we got to have Norrin Rad in there. You know, and I say this. I feel like I say this every episode, but I'm going to get through it real quick because it's important. And if you haven't watched the others, you should know that there are. Whenever Marvel makes like some stupid decision, like you know, swapping genders of a character for an obvious political agenda, there are always fans who are be like, well, in Fantastic Four 320 in 1972, Silver Surfer was a girl. So it is comic accurate, guys, okay? And it's a good thing that they're doing this because we need to see powerful women. And like, no, it's not, okay? It's not at all. Stop playing your stupid charade. It's ridiculous. Everybody knows that Silver Surfer is an iconic, classic Marvel character as a dude, okay? Nobody, not even you, were saying that you wanted to see a female Silver Surfer. But you feel like you have to go with the flow with your political agenda and you got to defend every stupid decision because it's like, and guys, this isn't going to make us vote for Joe Biden because we like the movie where Silver Surfer was a woman. It's ridiculous. It's so annoying, and I'm tired of it. And they don't have the luxury of playing around with a Fantastic Four movie because you know what they've never done with a Fantastic Four movie? Been successful. There's never been a Fantastic Four movie that was well received, critically acclaimed, and you know what the MCU is riding on right now? The success of the Fantastic Four to establish the Fantastic Four in the greater MCU universe. So they don't have the luxury of playing silly games like swapping out Norrin Rad for Shia LaBeouf. And listen, I like this actress. She is phenomenal. I watched Ozark. She was incredible in it. You know, and I'd love to have her in the MCU. but not like this.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, this how I feel. Like, I don't even think fans would be mad if Norrin Rad was a Silver Surfer now, and you later on did a shot about. I don't think fans would care, in my opinion. But like to start out the Fantasy Four, you're going with Shalabout. You know, and you guys know I necessarily don't really care because I'm not a Silver Surfer simp like a lot of people. Like he's just not one of my favorite characters of all time. But I will even attest that it is a wild casting. Like out of all the people, like you switch that out. You know, it's kind of wild. At least they didn't do a female Galactus.
What would that even look like? Yeah, I mean,
Charlize Theron as Galactus.
Right. I mean, what next? Make Spider-Man a woman? Like, come on.
Oh God. Yo, I do need that Spider-Gwen film though. I do, man. I do need
yes.
That. I do need
yes.
that. I do need that. And bring back Emma Stone too. Or Haley Steinfeld. Bring either of them. I'm cool. I'm flying with both of them. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, but other than Silver Surfer, we're sold, man. I mean, now Jerry, he does need to see Pedro Pascal because I know that for him is the deciding factor on whether the F4 works out or not. So
yeah,
I know
that. I like Pedro Pascal. I think he's a phenomenal actor, so I do think he's going to win me over. But I do think there were better choices, mainly John Krasinski.
Yep. Well, I disagree, but yeah, I hear you. Give me Spider-Man 2099 live action. That would be fun. That would be
fire.
The more bad decisions I hear from Disney MCU, the more I get excited. Honestly, bro, this is the only. Yeah, I agree. But honestly, this is probably out of all the stuff that we're getting, this is probably the only one that gets us a little fired up. Everything else has been pretty peachy keen, honestly. Lately, at least lately. Definitely with and I ain't gonna lie, X-Men 97 has made my Marvel like so amazing at the moment. And this final episode, I'm so freaking pumped, bro. Like, what the frick is Magneto gonna do? Like, is Professor X going to lose his mind? Like, oh man, can't wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, Magneto is the GOAT. Like, he is my all-time favorite villain. I absolutely love Magneto, and I can't wait to see him.
What are you doing Thursday night?
I am going to be on Cultured Pull's show.
All right, bet. Okay.
What are you gonna say?
Depending on how crazy it is, we might have to jump on maybe Saturday to talk some X-Men if it's that wild.
I can definitely get on Saturday. I have some stuff going on during the day, but if you want to do like evening, I could do it. Yeah.
All right. Just in case. Just in case. Anyways, all right. Now let's get to some other stuff. Chris Pratt was talking about some stuff. He said, so Chris Pratt was asked if he will return as Star-Lord in the MCU or join James Gunn's DCU. And Chris Pratt said, how about both? Let's do both. I think 100% both. What do you think about that, bro?
It's great news. Great news. I mean, I think we knew this was the case with him coming to the DCU. And I think everyone kind of expected him to come back as Star-Lord in some shape or form. But now it's pretty much confirmed. And listen, Chris Pratt is a phenomenal actor. I think that he would crush it in the DCU. The one thing that you got to think about with Chris Pratt coming to the DCU is he's 44 years old. So, I think he would crush it as Hal Jordan. I think he would crush it as Booster Gold, but I don't think Booster Gold is significant enough of a character for him. I think he's a little too old to play Hal Jordan, and it's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is.
Chris Pratt for Green Arrow. That's what I think he's going to play.
I think he's a little too old for Green Arrow, too.
Nah, man, I think he's perfect, bro. Or, what I want him to play either Jay, Garrick, or Green Arrow. I think either role is a W for him. And I really think Chris Pratt would be the perfect Green Arrow, man. I really think he would.
What about having him as a villain?
Like who?
It's a good question. I don't have anyone in mind.
Reverse Flash?
Oh, that would be sick.
Reverse Flash will be kind of cool.
What's going on with my computer? Yeah, Reverse Flash would be cool. Here's the thing. The reason I think a villain is a better idea is because villains don't necessarily stay around as long. And I'm not saying I don't think they should just waste one movie on them. But you could play a villain for 3 movies you don't have to worry about the character aging 10 years. And because of that, I think that, yeah.
You know what would be awesome?
What?
What if like 10 years from now, right? James Gunn does a full circle, brings back Cavill, Affleck, and all them to play like the multiversal opposites of the freaking Justice League. Where like Henry Cavill's like Ultraman. That would be crazy, bro. That
would be crazy. I'm trying to see what villains and yeah, I don't know. I think that would be cool. I would rather see them go up against like major DC villains. The reason I like Darkseid is not just because of Zack Snyder. It's really because of all the lore with Apocalypse. And, so I think like there's a lot to be done there. I think the problem with choosing Darkseid is that, they got to do something fresh and different. And no, I'm not saying they should choose one thing or another because Zack Snyder fans are going to throw a fit. Zack Snyder fans are going to throw a fit because James Gunn drank a cup of coffee in the morning. Okay. So they definitely shouldn't be making decisions based on whether the Zack Snyder fans are going to throw a fit because they throw a fit about literally everything. But I also would love to see like a Vandal Savage face off. I love Vandal Savage. He's such a cool villain, and we've never seen him in a movie. Like,
Jason Momoa for Vandal. Nah, he's too big. He's too big.
Nah, Vandal Savage is pretty big, bro.
Jason Momoa as Vandal Savage, that'll be fire.
Yeah, I said that. Remember?
You probably did. I don't remember, but you probably did because that definitely didn't come from my mind.
Yeah,
because I want Momoa to play Jack Sparrow.
I am gonna send you this picture of Vandal Savage, and this is the picture. I forget what comic it's from, but this is the picture. When I saw it, I thought Vandal Savage for him. I'm gonna send it to you so we can put it on the screen because you need to see this.
Hey, dude, I would love if Jason Momoa played Jack Sparrow and Vandal Savage.
Oh, that he would be good. He would crush it as Jack Sparrow.
Dude, I think he'll be perfect, bro. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to pull this up.
Yeah, because tell me you don't see this and you don't think this like. The guy must have had Jason Momoa in his mind when he drew this. It's crazy.
Yeah, it looks just like him.
It does.
I see someone else though too. What's that guy? He looks like the wrestler guy, Roman Reigns. It looks like him in that too.
Yeah, that's a good.
Roman Reigns probably not a great actor, but he does. Well, he's a wrestler. They can act, but he looks like him too. Dude.
Definitely act. Yeah.
Hold on and send it to me. All right, hold on. Let me pull this up for y'all. Why's my thing low? So slow, bro. All right. While I'm loading that up.
Yeah, I'll just shoot. I'll go.
Did you know? Remember that guy? Who was that? Yeah, go ahead.
Who are you gonna say?
Remember that guy? Who's that guy that's going to be in Penguin? Remember
Mark
that guy
Strong.
you text me about?
Mark
Yo,
Strong.
I didn't know that he was. Dude, I didn't know that he was Sinestro in the Green Lantern film. With,
I know. I didn't know that
Reynolds.
either. Yeah.
I was like, what? It didn't even look like him. I couldn't even tell.
Yeah. By the way, Sinestro could also be a villain for the Justice League. Sinestro is a bit powerful enough and big enough, and the lore is there. I'd be happy to see that too. Sup, Brandon? We're definitely going to do The Boys. I would love to see 2099 Spider-Man live action.
Ooh, yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's literally Jason Momoa.
Oh yeah, I can see that. That looks great. That
Yeah.
looks freaking great, bro.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought that Mark Strong would be Professor X. Yo, that's funny you said, bro. Mark Strong has been fan casting for Professor X for decades, bro. That's actually funny you say that. Actually,
Yeah.
funny you say that. To me, my X-Men. All right, next topic.
The
Okay,
thing
we
about
got
the Vandal Savage, real quick, for those of you that don't know, like
Go ahead.
he started off as like a caveman. He's immortal, and like he literally doesn't age. You know, he is you know, had like major positions of power. You know, he's like a super manipulative guy. He's a genius. You know, so he makes for a really cool villain. You know,
1000%, brother. 1000%. Okay, so this one's really quick. So Sebastian Stan was seen on set as Bucky Barnes. So we saw in the photo that Bucky's back to having long hair. I am really excited for Thunderbolts. I might be more excited for Thunderbolts than Captain America. Not gonna lie, and it's probably because I've seen more, promotion for Thunderbolts, just because we got to see the set and stuff, and it's a group. Are you excited for the Thunderbolts film?
yeah, I am. I just am more excited for Brave New World than when you said it to me. You know, but I want to see who's on the Thunderbolts. Like, who's the roster? Because I'm
The
pretty
guy
sure
the guy that's playing Sentry is actually about to be interviewed in a couple of days, or the interview already happened.
Yeah. You know, like I like Zemo. I don't like that Taskmaster's a woman.
Yo, you're right, bro. Marvel is getting darker for sure. You were right. Yeah, Thunderbolts gonna be a dark movie. Yeah, no, I think Thunderbolts gonna be a dark movie, bro.
You know, I hope it is. Listen, I also don't like that. I don't like that Norman Osborn isn't on the Thunderbolts. I think they should have brought Norman Osborn in for that movie.
I think the Osborn should have been in Spider-Man.
100%.
That pisses me off to no end, bro. It drives me insane, bro. It really does.
You know, and he was, but like we never got an MCU Osborn, and that is whack.
Yeah,
you know, that
after the Green Goblin saga, like
that's my big complaint about No Way Home is that all the villains were from the different universes, and none were from our mainline universe.
Yeah, because bro, they could have even done an accurate Mysterio instead of the freaking technology one. Like we could have got the magical Mysterio, bro. That would have been way more awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Like by the way, the more time passes, the more people are being like, I'm not sure about No Way Home. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that everyone was just so starry-eyed over the fact that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire showed up, and it was cool and it worked in the plot. But, when people end up watching it a couple years later for a second time and they're not so starry-eyed over it and they look at the movie on its merit and not based on cameos, they're not as happy with it. And I think that that's the problem.
I've been saying John Watts is a terrible director.
I wouldn't go as far as you, Brendan, and saying No Way Home was mid, because I still do rewatch it and I enjoy it, but it's definitely an overrated movie. And when you consider how it is overrated and you look at the Home trilogy as a whole, it's really not as great as everyone says. Far From Home is forgettable. Homecoming was great. No Way Home is decent. I would say No Way Home it's a good movie, but it's just good. It's not like
why are people Jerry?
Yeah, I agree.
Jerry, do you know what's super hilarious?
What?
People are commenting on our podcast episode from last week. So
right now,
people are watching our pod. Yeah, so someone's watching our pod from last week, bro. I'm dying. That's hilarious.
what are
bro.
they saying?
So they're looking at what we said about Giancarlo, and they said the comment was, "This means Kang Dynasty is saved. Long live Kang." Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
So before we leave, guys, I also am going to read Jerry these comments because you guys are pissed about The Rock, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I was peeping some of those comments.
Yeah, it was
I gotta
hilarious.
respond.
Yeah. By the way, Brendan, I don't think you have no room to call No Way Home mid because you was the one that was running and yelling during everything. So like when Andrew came to that portal, dude, you were screaming. So I don't want to hear nothing from you, and that's why I'm not saying nothing, bro, because I yelled. Okay.
But that's what I said.
Like,
Brendan probably rewatched it recently. He's like,
Nah,
you know
nah,
what?
nah,
I'm not screaming over the cameos
I don't wanna hear
anymore. Okay. And I'm absolutely seeing Deadpool. The earliest I can see that movie, I'm seeing it because I'm not getting spoiled. And there's going to be spoilers all over the internet because people are pathetic.
My phone will be off that whole day. My phone, I will not be on Twitter. I will not be on Instagram. I will not be on YouTube. And I'm taking a half day on that day. I was gonna go to New York to see Jerry, but I gotta leave for my job the next day, which sucks. So, but yeah, I'm seeing Deadpool the first available time.
Yeah.
So, and we're gonna go home and we're gonna record. It's gonna be.
And I will take off work to do that also
because this is a holiday, baby. This is a holiday for us.
I never take off, and
facts, bro. You deserve it, dog. You work hard, man. You work hard. All right.
Yeah.
Now the MCU movies are in another Marvel universe. All right. So this is a theory that I have. Okay. And I was I was really thinking about this the other day, because I was thinking about this idea of how do they include the multiverse into grounded movies, because in a movie like Captain America: Brave New World, there's no way that you can make sense. Like, it'll be hard to tie in the multiverse when you have Sam Wilson's Captain America dealing with someone like Thunderbolt Ross, right? Or someone, you know what I mean, and the Thunderbolts
like
or whoever.
Sabra.
Yeah, like Sabra, and we even heard that Val is going to be in this film as well, and apparently she's working for some new company or something like that. So there's a lot of grounded powers that be that's going on. So I've been thinking of this thought of what if we get to see the multiverse break in every single project. So what if this Captain America movie happens in another Earth and Sam Wilson doesn't even know that he's on another Earth? Or what if like this whole story happens in America, or this whole story happens in our MCU, but then at the end of the episode, Sam ends up in like another freaking universe, and then maybe like the TVA pops up, and then like the freaking movie ends, you know? Like, there could be a possibility to that every movie and story that we are seeing is happening in different planes of the multiverse, and the characters that we're watching, they don't even know that it's happening. And I think that'll be a very, very interesting thing. And I'm not talking about the TV shows. I'm just talking about the main movie line of the MCU, because I do think about how Ant-Man like ended. I rewatched Ant-Man finally also, bro.
I've rewatched that one so many times. I love Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Quantumania is underrated.
Yeah.
Overhated, very overhated.
By the way, real quick, I'm going to say one sentence. The problem with when people are too critical with the MCU as a whole, a movie like Ant-Man comes out, and it's like people are so dumb that they like can't help themselves but comment on an IGN post, "Oh, Ant-Man was mid," because everyone else is saying it, and it makes them feel good in their little day. They get likes on their Instagram comment. Ooh,
yeah, it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie.
Fucking loser. All right. Now, the movie was great, and I don't care what anyone says. Like, if you rewatch that movie, come back and tell me you didn't like that movie.
And give reasons.
And give reasons. I want to hear it. And if you're someone who's smart, like, you're welcome to come on the show. But if you do come on the show and you're not smart, we are just going to X you off, because we don't have time for people who aren't smart.
That's it.
You know,
at Ryan Kinnell. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No, I was going to say something else, but I remember I cut you off and you were in the middle of your thing.
So when I watched it of Ant-Man, right, the last scene really had me shook, because it looked like Ant-Man was questioning where he was. I have a pen in my hand that's green. Ant-Man was questioning where he was, right? And like, you could tell that something was off, even though he was with his family. He's like, yo, like, I'm not in the right place. and that's kind of how the movie ended. And I have a feeling that that's going to be this theme that we're going to see in the next MCU films. How would you feel if in every MCU film there was some type of theme going on of like the multiverse is breaking? This might not be in our main MCU timeline. How would you feel about that kind of that theme to kind of like a soft boot Kang into the films?
I just think that that's a crazy idea, and there's like no, I don't really think there's a purpose for it. I don't think, like I think they need to do more with the multiverse, but I don't think that's the answer. What I will tell you is that I think what they could build on is similar to the boat scene in The Dark Knight. And I'm not just saying this because I love The Dark Knight. It's actually based on the comics.
The Dark Knight Rises or so?
No, The Dark Knight. Remember at the end when Batman uses the sonar and he's in...
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. I remember.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Batman is fighting the Joker on a construction site. It's a high rise. They're in the middle of building it, and he's fighting the Joker. And the Joker plants 2 bombs, and there's one ferry which has civilians and the other has prisoners on it. Each boat has a detonator for the bomb on the other sons, and they don't end up blowing each other up. And that's when Batman's like, you see, they're not like you. Not every... Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and Batman, they're not like you. Not everyone's a sicko. Got you. Okay, great. Everyone's on the same page. Now, in the Avengers Time Runs Out storyline that leads into Secret Wars, what happens is, and here's where I think Brave New World is going to come in.
Okay.
So Brave New World, they talk to Sam Wilson about rebuilding the Avengers. Okay. Now, this has to be done to go into Secret Wars. But what's going to happen between Brave New World and Secret Wars is that when Sam rebuilds the Avengers, in the Time Runs Out story in the comics, Tony Stark, Iron Man, forms the Illuminati. But he forms the Illuminati with the purpose of the incursions coming, and he forms the Illuminati as a team to figure out how to save the Earth that they live on from the incursions. Now, I say it all the time, but for those of you who might just be watching this episode, the incursions are, what happens is there's 2 Earths, right? So,
by the way, guys, after this episode, I'm going to link the video that Jerry did, because he does a whole breakdown on it if you want more of a deeper viewpoint.
So there's 2 Earths, right? And either when they have an incursion, they're both about to collide, and either they both blow up or one blows up and the other survives. So the Earth that they're on, which in the comics it's 616, on their universe, 616, they try to figure out a way to save themselves. And here's the kicker. Tony forms the Illuminati, which has Reed, T'Challa, Namor, Doctor Strange, and there might be 1 or 2 more people. Professor X. I forget exactly who, but it's something like that. Anyway, they form the Illuminati, but they do it behind Captain America's back. That's the big kicker. They do it behind Captain America's back, and Tony was the one who did it behind Captain America's back because he knew that Captain America was never going to be okay with them intentionally blowing up the other Earth.
Are you talking about Sam or Steve?
I'm talking about Steve.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I do think that Sam Wilson is going to take that Captain America role, but there's going to be someone else who takes the Tony role. And I do think that Reed and
Strange. Yeah.
Reed Strange. What's also interesting is that
maybe
Reed invents, and I forget exactly the name of it. I think it was called the antimatter device or something like that. But Reed invents this device that would blow up the other Earth before they collide. and it ends up being it's kind of funny, but like Namor is the only one who has the balls to do something as savage, which is like figures, and Namor ends up doing it. We're gonna have Reed in the MCU at that point. We're gonna have Namor. We obviously already have Doctor Strange. We don't have Tony. Professor X is anyone's guess. I do think that we're gonna see some of that story play out. It's kind of like rotating chairs of which role is which character is going to take which role, because obviously we have a different set of characters than they did in that comic story. It's definitely the best Avengers comic run of all time. So if you haven't read it and you're into comics or you want to get into comics, if the Jonathan Hickman Avengers run, it's like super long, and it also goes on with the new Avengers, and it's like coincide. Look up the reading order online. Or if you just download Marvel Unlimited, the app, there's a reading guide for it, and it'll just take you issue by issue through the whole thing. It's incredible. But yeah, I do think something like that's going to happen in the MCU, because listen, if we're going into Secret Wars and we've already talked about incursions, we know that storyline is coming, and they've already been giving us pieces of it. So I believe that we are in that storyline right now.
And recast Namor, Henry Golding. That's who I want.
I like Namor.
Yeah, but with the drama. Yeah. So like, I'm not sure where he's at. So if you don't want to bring him back, cast Henry Golding. I really like Henry Golding. He was in the Gentleman's Warfare film. Yeah, I don't know what. Did he beat the case?
Well, first of all, I just Googled. There's an article. This headline is crazy. Black Panther Wakanda Forever star. I might mispronounce his name, but Tena Huerta addresses whether Marvel edited his bulge out of the movie.
Oh, God.
That's wild. Yeah. Black Panther Wakanda's actor. He goes, you can make good money with representation. The actor, this penis bulge thing is like all over the internet. Now, yeah, someone else asked, there's another headline, is he a rapist? It's inflammatory. You know what? I'm going to stop reading these but yeah, a little crazy.
Yeah, so there's still no answer. So if you don't want, if he's not coming back, get Henry Golding, call it a day. All right, now, I thought this was funny, bro. I thought this was hilarious because Chris Pine was shocked that Wonder Woman 3 got canceled. Like, he was genuinely shocked.
Yo, that's kind of crazy.
And I love Chris Pine.
Me too.
Like, Dungeons and Dragons, he was amazing. I mean, I think he's a great actor. Star Trek, he's a legend. I mean, he's a great actor. And I actually just watched the whole video on him. And he was dressed up like this hippie dude. And he was at this restaurant. And they were asking him about, like, the best places to eat in California. And he literally talked about this, Jerry, for like 40 minutes long. I mean, Chris Pine's a cool dude, you know. Why was he surprised?
You know, the thing with Chris Pine, I think that he's a great actor, and I really like him. And I just told Stevie how I was watching the Star Trek movies with him. He's incredible. But I think that Chris Pine's agent has done a terrible job with him, because Chris Pine should have been playing an A-list superhero, and he never did. Yeah.
I also think that Chris Pine could have been Chris Pine should be looked at like the way we look at like people like Brad Pitt, or like he should be that big. Like I think Chris Pine should be 10 times larger than he actually is.
I don't think Chris Pine, the thing about Brad Pitt, Chris Pine kind of looks like him. And I like Chris Pine a lot. But when it comes to Brad Pitt has one of the top charismas in all of Hollywood, and I don't think Chris Pine has that kind of charisma.
Yeah, but I think that Chris Pine
he does. He
has as a legend. Yeah, but I'm saying more as like an acting legend. You know what I mean? Like Chris Pine never had that movie where it's like that's you. You know what I mean? Like he never had that film whereas like Brad Pitt and people like him have had those roles. Like even a Will Smith, even Will Smith has had roles where like, yeah, that's you. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like Chris Pine's never had that opportunity for some odd reason. And you might be right. His agent might just suck, bro.
Yeah, because like Chris Pine, I mean, he should have been
Adam
like
Warlock. Oh my god, he would have been perfect.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Adam Warlock. He could have been Hal Jordan. I mean, he could have.
Young
he could
Chris
have been-
Pine is Hal Jordan. Oh my god.
He could have been Star Lord too. Like, you know, I think that Chris Pine is a phenomenal
You
actor.
just blew my
and-
mind. You just blew my mind. No, hold on. Hold the hell up. Slow down. Chris Pine is Hal Jordan?
Yeah. He's perfect for it. But he's 43 years old. So, like, you missed the boat, bro. And it's crazy because I think his best movies are the Star Trek movies. And those movies are great. They just don't get enough love, but they're amazing.
Wow. Chris Pine is Green Lantern. That messed me up. That messed me up just now, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Freaking wow. Damn.
And
Sorry,
the Green
bro. I'm
Lantern movie came out, like,
bro.
10 years ago.
I'm just
It could've been-
speechless right now.
I know.
Dang. Speaking of, sorry, that really, I'm thinking like,
I know. It's
Dang.
like he's perfect for it.
I think he would have been a good Indiana Jones too, for like a recast.
You know, they could still do that.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
little
Oh yeah,
old, but they did Harrison Ford, so like,
yeah.
you know,
I think he'd be a really good Indiana Jones. All right.
yeah.
Speaking of Wonder Woman, they can even do Chris Pine as an older. No, actually, I'm not going to say it. No. Anyways, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going down that road. But by the way, I have a new viewpoint on
Text
Star
me,
Wars.
because now I need to know.
I will tell you after I read this.
Okay.
Speaking of Wonder Woman, I really hope James Gunn gives us a Wonder Woman movie for Chapter 1. I understand shelving the Flash for a little bit, but we need to establish the Trinity, and so he needs a movie. Yeah, I mean, I think that is coming. I think that's coming. But really quick, so I was saying that Chris Pine would have been a good older Luke Skywalker, but I take that back because I have a new viewpoint on Star Wars. Okay, and I'm gonna make this quick because we have we have two more topics. Really fast, Jerry. I think what Star Wars should do is they should chalk the Skywalker saga, like you said. I hate it when you're right, but you do have a point. You chalk the Skywalker saga and you go to the beginning, and they should do a 6-movie saga on the birth of on the dawn. It should it should be called Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi. Show us how the Force was created, show us the very first Jedi, and do a 6-movie series on that. And then you just don't touch the Skywalker series anymore. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Skywalkers, it's like, imagine if Marvel only made Iron Man movies. And like, it's crazy. And I don't know. I also don't really, I kind of think Luke is soft.
Huh?
I kind of think Luke is soft.
George Lucas?
No, Luke Skywalker.
Oh, you think Luke is soft?
Yeah.
All right, we're not going to bash Luke Skywalker now. All right, watch yourself, brother. Watch yourself. I love me some Luke Skywalker, but I will say this. I do think that they should leave the Skywalker saga alone because it's like if it's literally like if they made Captain America and Thor and they center them around Iron Man. You would be pissed off, like, what the hell? Why is this everything centered around this one person? It's annoying.
Yeah.
So, all right, next topic. And then after this, we got one more topic, and then we're out of here. Galactus is coming to Earth in search of Franklin. Okay, so this is from Can We Get Some Toast? And it says this: the Fantastic Four will reportedly feature Ralph Ineson's Galactus coming to Earth in search of Franklin Richards. Franklin is the son of Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal, and Sue Storm, Vanessa Kirby. Why the heck do you think Galactus will come to Earth to search for Franklin?
There are stories about this. I'm
Yeah.
blanking on it, but there are stories about it. There's also
Yeah.
a comic series called The History of the Marvel Universe. And the History of the Marvel Universe is a comic series, but the history of the Marvel Universe is told through a conversation between Franklin Richards and Galactus, and
You're
they're like,
lying.
I
What is it
swear
called?
to God, what?
What is it called?
The history of the Marvel Universe. I swear to God. And
Order
they're
it right
like
now.
hanging out in the stars. Bro, just download the app, Marvel Unlimited, and you can read it on your iPhone or iPad. I mean, if you want to buy it, you can, but you could just download the app.
All right, bet. I'm
Yeah,
about to. What?
it's like $7 a month, and
That is
it's
insane.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because I know that Franklin Richards resurrects Galactus after he dies, and I know that, and I know that Galactus becomes his herald. And I read some comic where like the Celestials view Franklin Richards as the same power as them, like the same power level.
Yeah.
Maybe like Galactus sees the future where Franklin Richard dies. I mean, and I'm working on a theory video for this I have yet to do, but I do have a theory we're working that Franklin is the one that's going to take them to the MCU timeline. Like I have that theory. So
interesting. Yeah, that would be cool. Listen, I think that the MCU could use powerful characters. I think they're doing a little bit better with it now than they were last year. Not because we've had the introduction of new characters, but because they're making people like Sam Wilson more prominent. We're talking about the Fantastic Four, but because there was such a lack of good characters, like they could use people like Franklin and Valeria, Oh, and that Doom book is coming out tomorrow. It's a one-shot comic.
It's a steelbook, right?
No, it's a steelbook is like a special edition DVD.
Sorry, somebody literally just put out. I literally was on TikTok and the dude already got the Dune 2 steelbook. It looked freaking
awesome. Yeah,
awesome.
I am bummed out because when I bought my PS5, I went and I bought it on StockX. StockX took forever, and they were like, "Okay, do you want your money back, or do you want us to get you just order a different one for you with the, we'll." And I was like, "Just give me my money back." And I bought it from a sneaker reseller, and he drove to me like from an hour away, and he dropped off the PS5. And when he got there, he was like, "Yeah, it's the digital." So I only have digital. I don't have a 4K Blu-ray player, and I'm kind of bummed out. And now I'm like, I think I'm just going to buy a 4K Blu-ray, or I'm waiting to see when they announce the PS5 Pro, and I might just do that. But I also found out about Sony PS5 Core, and it's like Sony Core, and they have a platform where they stream their movies. You have to buy them on that platform, but they stream their movies, and like you get to watch them in Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, and IMAX enhanced at the same time.
That sounds sexy.
Yeah. So you could only access it on PS5. But I have PS5, so it's fine. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, no, the Doom comic is coming out tomorrow.
That's the one that Hickman wrote, right?
Yeah, it's a one shot. Jonathan Hickman and Sanford Green, who's another writer, wrote it together, and it's about Doom and Valeria. I forget exactly what they were doing, but it's like
I remember
Doom
you said
and
it to me.
Valeria. Yeah, I think they team up against Galactus. Actually, Doom one shot 2024. Let me check it out. Yeah, so this breathtaking one shot from two of the most industry well time assessment. Yeah, so it is Doom and Valeria versus Galactus. Crazy.
Interesting. I'm definitely reading that. And that drops tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right, next topic. Nicolas Cage will play Spider-Man in noir live action project for Amazon. How now? I was thinking about this. I was like, Nicolas Cage is old, but my guess is that he's probably going to voice the character since he wears a mask the whole time.
Well, he voiced the character for Into the Spider-Verse and
Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's awesome news, and I hope that this is indicative of more Spider-Man content to come from Sony via Prime. You know, Sony, I know everyone's like, I feel like this is another Instagram NPC. Like, there's so many NPCs out there that, like, one opinion gets popular and everyone who can't think for themselves takes on said opinion. And one of those opinions is that Sony sucks, so they shouldn't do anything. Well, Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, and they've been very successful with a lot of it, but their villain spin-off series has been pretty much a total failure aside from Venom.
Yeah.
But you know what Sony's been killing it with? The Spider-Verse movies. And you know where Spider-Man Noir Nicolas Cage comes from? The Spider-Verse movies. So
yeah,
they could do a Spider-Gwen series. Like, they could do so much more like this, and this is genius. And I hope to see that they do more. And I hope that people think for themselves and put more respect on Sony's name, because a lot of you will say in the same breath that Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse are the best Spider-Man movies ever, but Sony sucks and they shouldn't have the rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah, Sony sucks and they shouldn't have the right Spider-Man. I 100% agree with that.
Get out
I
of
hate
here.
Sony. I hate Sony so much. But yeah, I mean, so what the hell am I say? Sony has to make movies about characters in Spider-Man 29 instead of Man Web, Venom, Morbius, Grayman, or just give your whole Spider-Man catalog to the MCU. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, and if you want to make movies with those villains, like, make them an animated movie with one of the other Spider-Man. Like, you could do a Spider-Man 2099 versus Morbius movie, you know?
The same character too.
Yeah, and there you go. Now you have your Spider-Man villain spin-off movie with a Spider-Man, and Kevin Feige isn't going to come for your ass.
And if you want to make a live action, hey, bring Oscar Isaac, because he's the one that voices Miguel. He do it.
And
they're not doing anything with him already as Moon Knight.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that next week too. We're gonna make that topic. Characters that the MCU forgot about. That's what we're gonna talk about next week, bro. Because I'm gonna rant about that. Moon Knight is. There's no way There's no way that he hasn't been shown. Like, it's crazy. Anyways, but yeah. All in all, I mean, I'm pretty. I don't really care about this project, to be honest. I'm neither. Like, it's cool. It's whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not really tripping over it. But man, it's all right. So, all right, guys, before we end, I wanna talk about something real quick, man, because I'll say to Jerry about this because it really pissed me off like earlier. And one thing that we always will do on this show is always bring you guys like the best reasoning that we can think of why we like something. Okay. And if we don't care about it, we'll honestly say we don't care. We're not going to waste your time, and just give you all these reasons. We actually put effort into the topics that we're talking about and the things that we do when we're talking about these superhero topics. Don't get caught in the Twitter fog all the time. Okay, guys, you got to understand there's a lot of people that dislike things like James Gunn's Superman. There's a lot of people that dislike these things, but I promise you, if you DM them and say, give me a reason why you don't like James Gunn's Superman, you have 1 minute to respond, right? They will tell you nothing about the actual Superman movie that they don't like. They will tell you something that has nothing to do with the Superman character or the way that the movie's being made at all. Okay. Don't get caught up in this stuff. Don't let this stuff make you so angry and so mad. You guys, you have to be able to take all of the news and just tunnel vision through, because that's what we do. We obviously respond to some of the BS because it's fun, but the reality is that we can't wait for James Gunn's Superman. We can't wait for Brave and the Bold. Like, we're hyped, bro. And that's just the way it is. So,
hell yeah. And, a lot of people, you have to keep in mind, like, don't think for themselves, and they're NPCs. And, like, be careful who you get your information and whose opinions you consume.
Exactly. And if you want some great opinions, we have a few people. The Why So Cities podcast. Shout out to those guys. I need to get him and Jerry on the show because Why So Cities has been blowing up on TikTok posting his comic pools. So I gotta get him. I gotta get him and freaking Jerry together because that would be nuts to see them together.
Hell yeah.
Slav Free Talks Rome comic comic book geek. He's the king of superhero verses. He does merge battles. Like he's the ideal fun guy. Culture Pullist. I mean, he also is a comic book connoisseur. If you want to learn something about freaking comic book characters, by the way, Jerry has been he's been guest starring on there for the past.
I'm going to be on there. I did one, and I'm doing another on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and probably going to be doing some more in the next couple of weeks as well. But this Thursday, we are going to be getting into Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Invasion. If you haven't read it, it's only 4 issues. It is one of the best comics to come out in a long time. If you know me, you know Hickman is my GOAT. So I'm super excited to get into this with you.
You about to go crazy on that one.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, if you're into the new Ultimate Spider-Man series, Ultimate Invasion is how that story started. So it's worth reading.
Yep. And by the way, if you guys ever want to learn or talk about comics, DM Comic Cuts, bro. He responds quick, man. Like if you ever say like DM him and say, "Yo, I wanna learn about Galactus. What comics do I need to read?" Comic Cuts will show you his pool because he's known as well. So hit us up. Please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you know when we post. Have a wonderful day, guys, and peace out.